Hello and welcome to another prediction video here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole and today we are talking, of course, about the E3 2021 predictions for Square Enix. Yes, Square Enix will have their own showcase and I know that people are completely hyped for this. I mean, I'm hyped for this. I'm always looking forward to video games and Square Enix is always there to entertain, to say the least. And well, let's talk about what they might have in store. Before we jump into my direct predictions, a few things I have to notice here. I know that some people are like looking forward to Final Fantasy 16 and that other game and so many secret games, and the answer is hold your horses. Like, no, seriously, calm down a little bit. Square Enix has more or less explained to us very much in what they want to showcase and what they don't. And unfortunately, Final Fantasy 16 is not on that list and some of the other stuff. So let's talk about the things we will actually see in that showcase. And then let's talk about some predictions. First things first, they will feature Babylon's Call. What is Babylon's Call? Well, I totally understand if you don't remember this game, because Babylon's Fall was announced, oh my gosh, I think 3 or 4 years ago. And it was first announced with like a story trailer, and there was nothing really to see when it came to gameplay at all. Then the game vanished. And the only thing we knew was, yeah, this is developed by Platinum Games, which is always great. I love me to play some Platinum games here and there. I think I never really like a bad one. And it was like, yeah, okay, Square Enix and Platinum Games, that should be good. The problem is just they vanished. They really just vanished. And then they came back to like, I think it was Nintendo or E3 presentation like over a year ago, where they showcased a little bit of gameplay, which didn't told us much. Like the whole gameplay announcement was just absolutely weird and didn't really felt great. Like from what I've seen, well, graphically it looked interesting. It was a very different art style they tried to do. But gameplay-wise, it felt a bit like Nier meets DMC. And that's fine. It's just fascinating that, you know, Square Enix is also owning the Nier license. And they decided to do a similar game with Platinum Games. And it's like, oh, okay. We will see what that does. But I really hope that now that they vanished again, that we will finally see something concrete. That they are going a little bit in depth of what to expect from the game, what the game actually really is, and seeing a little bit more than just pretty story trailers and a little bit of gameplay here and there. Like, I really hope that they start to explain to us what the heck we are looking at and what the heck to expect. So I would also say we might see a release date this year. It's really tough to tell because, as I said, the game was announced, I think it was in 2017, or was it even 16? It has been a long while for Babylon's Fall, and we just have to see what this game is really about, let's be honest here. The next game on the list is Marvel Avengers. I will be honest here with you, I will not really talk about this game. I don't care for the gameplay loop, and I don't really care too much for Marvel. That's like me. I know that millions of people love Marvel, but unfortunately it doesn't do too much for me. So unfortunately Marvel Avengers didn't really click with me, and before I just sit here for 2 or 3 minutes to rant about a game, I just decide to move on and focus on the things I can actually say something about. One last thing though, it's pretty easy to predict what they will showcase here, which is the, what is it called, the Black Panther expansion. They called it the city or the country Black Panther is from. Again, sorry, I'm not a Marvel person. I'm really not. And I know that some people are getting really angry right now, and I'm truly sorry about that. But they will probably talk about the expansion for Marvel Avengers. And that's neat. Maybe they will finally also talk a little bit about Spider-Man. They have promised for nearly a year now, but that will be it. But let's talk about the games I can actually say something about and I'm interested in. The next game on the list is Life is Strange: True Colors. And I have to say, I was also never a fan of Life is Strange. I've played the first episode of Life is Strange, never finished that, and I've also not played Life is Strange Before the Storm and Life is Strange 2, never touched that, because it was a little bit too much teenage angst and it didn't really click with me. But, with that said, I was actually kind of curious about Life is Strange True Colors, because it seems like they're going a little bit beyond the teenage angst and try to focus on the story beyond this typical of, oh no, I don't know what will happen to me. You know, like, again, teenage angst. They really seem to focus on other things this time. I really also like the powers you are now getting. Like, that seems to be interesting. But I wonder what they can showcase. Because Life is Strange is kind of a visual novel. And they cannot really showcase too much of the game before they are going into spoiler territory. So I'm just hoping that, well, I expect that it would just showcase maybe 2 to 3 minutes a trailer, like showing a little bit more of the story, showing a little bit more of the power in action, or maybe they're showing like the first part of the gameplay or something. The thing is just, again, the gameplay is very much straightforward in those Life is Strange games. Like, there is not much you can showcase for a long time. The only thing you can showcase would be basically like the story parts. And that's certainly something they don't want to do. So, yeah, I assume that Life is Strange True Colors, they will probably introduce some more characters to the roster. Maybe they will showcase some music or something like that again. And that will probably be it when it comes to Life is Strange, which is fine. Again, what I have seen from the new Life is Strange is enough for me. Like, I know what to expect, I know what I get, so cool, I don't need to see more. But now, let's talk about the biggest announcement, because there will be a world premiere for Eidos-Montreal's new game. So this is kind of curious, because Eidos-Montreal has been working on multiple games over the years. Marvel Avengers was one of them. They worked on Tomb Raider, and they also worked on Deus Ex. So the question is, of course, what will they showcase? And, well, if I have to guess, I would say we are seeing what we are seeing right now here on the screen from the March showcase. Yeah, this was the March showcase. And I just expect that we are getting a new Tomb Raider, because it is the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider. And they have already said, like, they have some announcements to make, and like one big announcement a little bit later this year. And so I just expect that we would just get a new Tomb Raider, because those games have sold, the story is not done, there's more to talk about, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what we are getting. Have to admit, I enjoyed the first one. The second one was alright. I was not necessarily the biggest fan of the third one, especially the savior complex Lara basically started to adapt in the third one. Now, the good thing is that she got basically over it, and she realized that she had the savior complex. She might wanna she might wanna stop. So that was pretty neat. But I think the third Tomb Raider game was alright. It was the same formula of the last two Tomb Raider games. And don't get me wrong, that's fine. That's nothing bad. But it's also like I wonder what they could do with the next one to keep it interesting, right? So yeah, I'm pretty much sure we will get like the new Tomb Raider game when we are talking about Eidos Montreal's new game. But with that said, let's talk a little bit about a prediction and maybe a little bit of a hope. And that is maybe we are getting a new Deus Ex game. I know, it's laughable. I can't even believe myself that I just said that. But maybe we are actually getting a new Deus Ex game. Maybe we are lucky. I doubt it. Mankind Divided was not doing very well when it came to the selling figures. So unfortunately, that is not happening, and even it wasn't really greatly received by the fans, because if you have ever played Mankind Divided and you have played Human Revolution always felt like a complete game. Like it's a game which is done from the beginning to the end. There's a cohesive story there, and it never felt like, oh, there's something missing here, right? Like if you play Human Revolution right now, it feels like a complete game, no bullshit. It's great. It's a great game. But when you played Mankind Divided, it was the complete opposite. Like there was only, I think, 2 real locations. Those 2 locations were like reused multiple times. The story was not coherent. There was still a huge part missing. It felt very much like as if the main villain of Mankind Divided was just an in-between villain. Like you had like in the first one where you had like multiple people working together and multiple enemies and boss fights, and then at the end you would basically meet the real villains, so to speak. And they didn't do that here. They were literally just like, this is the dude, you're meeting him right from the beginning. That's the enemy. You always had the feeling of, okay, this is an in-between boss. And then you defeat him at some point and you realize, no, that was exactly it. That's the end of the game. And what we have heard then from a lot of like developers who said, yeah, that was actually planned as a 2-part game, but the second part never came out. Plus, of course, the item shop. The item shop was... Ooh, let's not get too much into it. It was not great. So, yeah. Long story short, as much as I would wish to see a new Deus Ex, I assume that if we are getting one, it will be a reboot. Maybe with a new character. Maybe a completely new scenario. But I don't think that Square Enix will touch Deus Ex anytime soon. I have the bad feeling that if we ever see a new Deus Ex, maybe in another 5 to 10 years, if we are lucky. Which of course is really, really unfortunate if that is the case. But I don't hold my breath for it. I'm pretty sure that Eidos Montreal will showcase the newest Tomb Raider game. Yep. But you know what? That's it. That's the things Square Enix will present. I don't know what you will say, but Mo, maybe they are showing stuff they haven't announced yet. There's a chance for that. I'm pretty sure they would do the same thing as they're doing right here, throwing in some mobile, because Square Enix is another company who really wants to push for mobile games. And I think we will see that more. But truth to be told, I don't really think they will showcase anything else, really. Because that's exactly what they have done with Square Enix Presents in March, right? They have given us all the games that were showcased, and then they had some mobile games in between. But that was it. That was literally it. Like they stick to the program and to the announcements they made. So I know that some people hope for a new surprise here, for like something unannounced, or that they will still showcase Final Fantasy 16 or Project, what is it called? The other Project game. I get that, but I have a feeling this is reserved for some PlayStation stuff, because keep in mind, as it stands right now, Square Enix has an exclusive deal with Final Fantasy 16 and the project. Again, I always forget the name, I'm horrible. When it comes to like PR stuff, and that is all about Sony, because Sony wants to hammer home the fact that, hey, you want to play Final Fantasy? Well, you better get a PlayStation, right? So yeah, I don't think that Sony will talk about it as Sony. I don't think that Square Enix will talk about it in their own show. And if we are seeing any new news, then we will see it on a Sony announcement show. But yeah, that's very much what we will see here. I'm looking forward to it. Like, even if it is a new Tomb Raider game, I'm happy with that. I think that's cool. I always enjoyed me some Tomb Raider. So why not? And I'm definitely curious about Babylon's Fall, because we haven't seen anything in the recent time regarding Babylon's Fall. So yeah, give me more of it. Life is Strange. I don't necessarily need anything to know about it, because we have already seen the first relatively long trailer, and it was enough for me. It was pretty cool. And again, Marvel Avengers, I have nothing to say about that game. Sorry. Sorry. But yeah, my inner hope, my last light of hope, is still that Eidos Montreal will actually showcase a new Deus Ex game. But maybe we are getting something completely else. Like, literally something completely else. Maybe a new IP or something they have announced ages ago and now they are following suit. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it will not be Deus Ex. Surprise me, Square. Make me happy. Surprise me, make me happy. I would love to see a new Deus Ex. Alright, with that said, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and some of my predictions, don't forget to like on your way out. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more predictions, and of course you want to see all the E3 2021 live streams, you can do that, of course, on my live stream channel, which is trovo.live/ChaosMole. And you see me streaming there whenever the shows are coming up. It will be all over the place. I will probably make like a YouTube announcement thing or something like that. But if you cannot be there live, or you're just somebody who likes to watch on YouTube rather than watching live streams, don't you worry. I will upload all the conferences to my YouTube channel. So make sure that you also subscribe, so you can, and ring the bell icon so that you can get informed when the next E3 press conference is live. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye.